suddenly, consumer demand isn't what we thought it was, what would be some of the first indicators out there in the marketplace that things are starting to slow down, and what will be the result of having built that overcapacity, maybe the negative results of having built too much capacity too quickly?
Let's deal with the first question first. So kind of what are the lead indicators? How will we, as a craft community, know if things are slowing off? It's tempting to say, well, you can look at all this good on-premise data at the moment that you can go out and buy if you want to. Frankly, I think it's easier to walk down to your local bar and ask them what they're selling. You're going to get really direct feedback that way. And they'll sometimes say, not your beer, which is dull. The core of what's going to drive us as a craft segment from our current share to 20 over the next 5 years is going to be what happens in off-premise. And I think you can see there's some really good indicators of what's selling in off-premise. And frankly, the heart and soul of it is go down the road and talk to people. When you're raised in a big brewery, you rarely go and talk to people. When you're raised in a craft brewery, you are dependent on talking to your customers to understand what they want and to sell to them, and you get really visceral feedback from them very quickly. So I think as a craft movement, we've actually, it's in our DNA to hunt out understanding and just to keep a very close feel of what's actually happening. We'll feel it and hear it very quickly from on-premise. I think we'll hear it very quickly also from off-premise, and maybe a couple of months lag.
So what they'll be saying, what exactly? Our traffic is slowing, or I'm not selling as much craft beer? Or, I mean, how will it look when you're getting this feedback from the retailers?
Rotations will be slow. I'll come back to the point I made earlier. I mean, to me personally, if there's one thing that I lie awake at night and worrying about is rotation. I don't worry about distribution at all. It's about the quality of the rotations that we're getting, both on and off premise. It doesn't matter where it is in the country. I would rather cut distribution, but have really good rotations in the places that we have, because that's how you build a sustainable business for the long term.
And if things start to slow down, the negative sort of effects of building too much capacity too quickly, will we see discounted beer? Will we see pricing issues? Will we see breweries going out of business? Banks wanting to come collect their money again? I mean, what will it look like?
Well, I think the first thing to say is, I don't think it's going to happen for 5 years. 5 years minimum. And the reason I say that is, I think there's a lot of talk about the bubble. Are we on the verge of the bubble right now? Chris's point is there more overcapacity. Typically, if you're standing back looking at different types of examples of bubbles, and these are a couple of the indicators, I think that the bubble is really about people. And at the moment, people remain totally fascinated by quality, by local, by artisanal things. I don't think that is a bubble. And we're just being pulled along by that huge consumer trend. And they're thinking about things from coffee to donuts to a bar of soap that is made locally is really cool, and it's got a story about it. That bubble is the best. That's going to continue. It's a generational thing. And I think, therefore, as a craft movement, we're just going to get swept along by that. I firmly believe that 20% share for craft is absolutely achievable, and we should blow through that. So as we think about what are the implications of the bubble bursting, I actually don't think it will happen for another 5 years, and I think the logical things will come along. You're going to find people who've got overstretched, and they're going to be selling. The prices of breweries for sale is going to start to come down. We're going to see more available people hunting to fill capacity for that. Well, that will open up some private label opportunities and stuff like that.
Well, in 5 years, I mean, it was Bill Anderson from First Bev, said as many as 25 different transactions over the next 15 months. So, assuming that some of those most likely are private equity transactions, and assuming that every private equity firm is operating on a 5 to 7 year timeline, that seems like it would match up. 5 or 6 years from now, there's going to be a lot of private equity companies that are looking to exit their investments in some of these companies and get their return. And I mean, maybe that will play into it as well. Do you think that could have an impact on some of the bubble shakeout, whatever you want to call it?
Possibly, but I mean, I see where your point's going. I mean, the reality is private equity money in craft brewing is a big headline. There are 7 private equity companies who are active in craft right now, 4 which are really active, and there's another 3 who are moving around. They're making a lot of noise for the 7 companies. So in that sense, I think
there's hundreds of firms.
The real game is what is going to happen between some of the very big breweries trying to make sure that they have a share of the craft phenomenon. You've seen it in Anheuser-Busch. It won't take Miller Coors a long time. They've gone through some reshuffle. It won't take them a long time to wake up. They're very smart people. They'll figure it out. ABI are already starting to figure it out. So we're going to see some real dynamics coming from that. And then I think we're going to see some, as I said earlier, some partnerships starting to develop. It's part of the DNA of the way craft brewers operate, that we actually like to get together with people and we're good at collaborating and finding solutions that are not just a pure M&A play.
Well, we're just about out of time here, but one final question for you. Speaking of partnerships, who's Dougal buying next, Simon?
Yeah.
Go Royals!
All right. Looking forward to learning a little bit more about where you guys are headed in that direction. I'm sure something will emerge over the next couple of years. You guys aren't going to stay quiet, so it'll be interesting to see where you guys go. Keep us posted.
Go Royals!
All right. Thanks, Adam. Sorry for everyone. A big thank you to the folks at Boulevard for hosting us. Big shout goes out to Julie Weeks back there, helping to coordinate everything. Thank you. I know I've mentioned this a couple times tonight. We're taking this all around the country, and we truly couldn't do it without some of our sponsors that are listed up here. Owens, Illinois, I believe Joshua is here tonight. Somewhere there he is. Thanks for coming out, Josh. So OI is here, but our other sponsors, Pubcake, Vicinity Brew, these are the guys that actually make this possible. We have all this video equipment. We live stream it out across the web. We've got a whole crew that comes to this thing. I think there's 5 of us here this time, and it wouldn't be possible without that. Without these guys. And lastly, 100% of the proceeds from the door tonight went to a local animal rescue association. I know Ashley probably has the final tally. The last time I looked at it, it was right around $900 raised. So thank you guys. And if you enjoyed what we did here on June 11th, we'll be in Chicago for our full-day business conference, the Brewbound session. Maybe we'll see you guys there. Let's get a beer. Cheers.